Today is a much more personal video than normal, maybe a bit more intense. If talking about mental health issues such as depression and suicidal ideation makes you uncomfortable, seriously feel free to leave. Not a big deal. Totally understand. But if you are struggling with these issues or know somebody who is, I totally invite you to stick around. I'm going to be sharing my experiences and the steps I take to kind of get back to normalcy. Some of these are going to be super common sense and some are going to be a little out of the box. But again, this is what I do. It's not going to work for everybody, but if it does help one of you, I will be super stoked. A little background on me. I have had clinical depression for most of my life. It is something I've dealt with for a very long time. I've said many times, some days are easier, some days are harder, but very rarely do I get a day off. Doing many of these things that I'm going to list has helped me decrease the frequency in which I feel this way, in which I get low, and it definitely decreases how low I actually get. But despite doing all that work, like I said, it comes and it goes. And this last month, it has been pretty heavy, a lot worse than it has been in a few years. The main thing for me is this voice that just tells me I'm a piece of shit loser and that I should kill myself. I know that's pretty intense. And the whole point of this video is to give you some of these things that I do to try to get me out of that extreme place as fast as possible and prolong those extremes as long as possible. Now, these aren't in any particular order. They're not ranked from most important to least important. However, I would say that this first one is the most important, and that is to talk to somebody. First of all, it makes you feel exceptionally lonely and that you're the only one in the world that feels like this, but there are millions of people who feel like this. It's a huge club and you feel like you're the only member, which is kind of odd. So one of the best things you can absolutely do is talk to somebody, whether that's a parent, a friend, a professional like a therapist. I say it's an absolute must, and I would go the therapist route because they're trained in talking to you about this stuff. And especially depending on the severity at which how low you are, I really think a therapist can be a huge win. And I don't think it's weird to have one at all. I mean, and I am a coach, and so I have a coach for the mental stuff that I can't navigate on my own. Number 2, move. High school itself sucked for me. I was super introverted, nerdy, awkward, and I was also super insecure. I had never touched a weight until after I left high school. My lack of confidence was probably one of the reasons why I got bullied so much in high school. But once I started exercising, changing, and physically became something that I wanted to, I gained a ton of confidence. And this confidence definitely made me happier. And being happier helped with depression. And I was able to adjust to challenge better. I 100% absolutely know exercising has been at the foundation of helping me regulate and combat these depressive symptoms. Exercising releases feel-good endorphins and neurotrophic growth factors in the hippocampus, which help grow and activate new nerve cells, and these new nerve cells make better connections, and that better connection helps with brain function, which then relieves depressive symptoms. For some of you, this might not be a great option, but going to a gym can improve your social interaction. And even though it might be a super small thing, the off chance that somebody there throws you a smile, that might brighten your day. I mean, even if it's just for a few moments, that day's made better, it's worth it. And if the gym isn't your style, don't sweat it. Many people have reported massive changes to their well-being and life just from going on walks for 30 minutes 2 or 3 times a week. Number 3, do something creative. For me, creativity and depression are eternally intertwined. On one hand, depression totally crushes any motivation to do anything, especially those of the creative kind. And on the other hand, doing something creative quells those asshole voices in my head that are keeping me depressed. For me, photography, making videos like this, drawing on my iPad, and most recently, learning how to play the keyboard have been incredibly effective tools for me. Why does it work? Well, for me, doing something creative just shuts down the side of my brain, the one that's telling me those nasty things. Doing something creative activates a different side of my brain, and basically this one goes blank, and I don't hear it for a while. Now, I know that's not the most sciencey way of putting things, but that is the effect that it has on me. That's why I think it'll work for you. Number 4 is actually piggybacking right off of that, and that's to get outside. There's something about nature that definitely has a positive impact on your energy and your well-being. About a year ago, I picked up a camera for the first time to start shooting photos, and it has like completely changed everything for me. Photography has inspired me to get outside and explore. It's made me look at nature, people, just green spaces in general in a completely different way. It's definitely a go-to when I'm feeling down. Normally, I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay inside, stay in bed, and feel like poo. But if I put in my schedule that I'm going to get up at dawn and go out into the mountains so I can get a particular shot, or at sunrise go up to Capitol Hill so I can shoot the Capitol building, I'm going to do it. Not only that, I'll be out the door in minutes just after my alarm goes off so I can get that good shot. So get outside. Number 5, avoid gluten.
Sorry I'm late. I was rounding up all the gluten in the world and launching into space where it can't not hurt us ever again.
If you're anything like me, when you're feeling down, the thought of getting up and making a meal is just a massive bummer. It's just so much easier to just get something quick and easy. Pizza's the best. But it's that same pizza that might be keeping you depressed. How does this work? Basically, when said gluten is eaten, it increases gut inflammation and permeability of the intestinal barrier. This then allows, big word here, lipopolysaccharides to enter the circulatory system, which produces cytokines. And because of this increased lipopolysaccharide and cytokine production, we get greater systemic inflammation. And when this systemic inflammation reaches the brain, it leads to brain dysfunction, cognitive impairment, and increased vulnerability to neurodegenerative disease. There's obviously so much research on the topic, I can't go over it all, but I'm going to put some links down below to some of that research. Number 6. Practice daily gratitude. If you've been following this channel for any amount of time, you've probably heard me say this, just about a billion times. And that's because it works. I do it every day, and I try to do it first thing in the morning. I grab my journal, and I write 3 things down that I'm grateful for, and I try to make them different every single day. It starts my day off right. Even when I'm super low, if I can put in perspective what my life is like and how I'm doing, even if it's just for a few hours, it makes a huge difference. Just like moving and exercising, practicing gratitude releases those feel-good endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and it helps to build those enduring personal connections. Definitely pick one of these up. Number 7, shiver. As humans, we have adapted and overcome quite well in the evolutionary process. We've moved out of cold, damp caves, and we've become civilized. We have pushed the boundaries of technology and innovation. Scientists believe, however, that this evolution, this pursuit of making life easier, might actually be at the root cause for some of our mental health issues. They propose we have lost certain physiological stressors, those to temperature change and harsh environments as we evolved. And this lack of thermal exercise may cause inadequate functioning of the brain. What's the fix? Pretty easy. Get in a shower and shiver.
Oh, shit. No. Oh. I can do this. That sucked.
A cold shower sends an overwhelming amount of electrical impulses from the peripheral nerve endings to the brain, which then could have an antidepressant effect. Lastly, this is something I still have not yet chosen to do, but I know it helps a ton of people, and so I don't want to take it off the table even though I don't do it. And that's medication, whether that's talking to your doctor, your therapist, and getting an antidepressant, or there's some really promising research into ketamine, LSD, and psilocybin for treatments for depression and anxiety. This has been a interesting video to make. I want to make it, and at the same time, mentally, I also just want to pull back. But I hope that this video has helped you. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button. It goes a long way to help the channel grow, and it tells me what kind of content you want to see more of. Please consider subscribing. It's free. I'm not going to send you any notifications unless you want to. And you can do that just by hitting that little alarm bell down below, and that will notify you when I release new videos. Finally, to my friends, my family, my clients, thanks for your patience. Thanks for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. To the rest of you, thanks for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Peace. Not looking forward to filming this B-roll of me getting a really cold shower.